Please welcome to the stage the author of Inspired to Greatness, Leesa Myers.
December 10th, 1998. I'll never forget that day. I just didn't want to get out of bed anymore. I was so tired. You know what that's like? Just to be tired. My business was failing. My finances, I had Peter to pay Paul, to pay Mary, to pay Jude, to pay Frank. And all of them were tapped out. And there was no more money. And I was living in absolute, constant fear. When we started this business, my husband, we had got a mortgage on the house, and my husband said we had better not lose the house on this business. He had no clue how far in debt I was. I believed that if I committed suicide, I'd go straight to hell. Wouldn't pass go, wouldn't collect $200. I didn't believe it for anybody else. I just believed it for me. Because I knew that if I believed it and I did it, it would happen. I knew what hell was on earth, but I didn't want hell for eternity. I also knew that if my emotions that I had stuffed down for so long started coming up, you know how they get up there, right there to the throat, and you push them down, you bite your tongue so you don't get emotional. I knew that if they spilled over, I'd go catatonic, that I'd just break. And so I was living in this constant fear, and I'd hit bottom, and I didn't know where else to go. I'd met Bae, who was a healer. I'd never heard of healers before. I didn't know what that was, but I was willing to try anything. And I went to her, and she used essential oils. One of the things about essential oils is they go past the olfactory nerve, goes right to the amygdala with the smell, and breaks down the blood-brain barrier. So it breaks down those emotions. So I made a time with her, and we sat down, we talked about what was going on in my life, and where I was at, and where I wanted to go. And she had me lay down, and she started using essential oils, and she'd have me smell it. She'd have me put it on my feet. And she'd start asking me what's going on. And as soon as I'd get that little notch in my throat, this time I couldn't stop it. And those tears started coming. She says, "What are you feeling?" I said, "I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough." And she'd say, "Just repeat it. You're doing fine. You're doing great. Just keep saying it. Keep saying it. I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough." And those tears came. You know those belly tears? You know that belly emotion that you just, those tears that just come up. And they just kept coming. And pretty soon we got to the point, and I'd start feeling better, and she'd take me to when I was a little bit younger, and we talk about that, those tears would start coming up. And she'd keep putting some essential oils on my hands and then let me smell it, and on my feet. She'd say, "You're doing great, you're doing great. Just get it out, just get it out." I got to the point where I was 6 years old. My parents had bought this house that was a fixer-upper up in the affluent area in Cottonwood. So we were the eyesore of the neighborhood. These two little girls had grown up together, and they were best friends. And I was the third man out. So I was only good enough to play if I had treats or something to share. I was only good enough if one of the other ones couldn't play. Also, as I was growing up, in 5th grade, I was the second tallest girl in school. So I just didn't fit in. My belief was through that time, I just wasn't good enough. I just didn't fit in. So we got to when I was that 6 years old, and all of a sudden the tears finally stopped coming out, and I got pissed. And I thought, I have been living my whole flippin' life from not being good enough since I was 6 years old. And I'm tired. I am so damn tired. So what happened was, going home wasn't easy. I had to tell my husband, I closed my business. Was it easy? No. My husband left for a while, we separated. We're now celebrating 40 years coming this next year. Woo! What I realized too is that when I die, I want to be like Monica on Touched by an Angel, that goes around telling people how amazing, how incredible they are, and that God loves you. What I realized a couple of years ago is I'm living heaven on earth. I went from hell on earth to heaven on earth. And what changed was my belief. But I first had to identify what was going on. I didn't know that 6 years old was identifying, it was creating my whole life. So I had to identify it, and then I had to program something different, something new. And then I got to create something spectacular. But I first had to identify it. And I first had to step past that fear and to let those emotions come up. So I want to leave this with you. You are amazing. You are powerful. And God loves you.